Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
I'm Will Outlaw.
And we are back after our 1 week hiatus.
Another flood.
Yep, you
Not
can.
really.
Well, I was at a music festival, so.
You can blame Jeff for trying to have fun away from us. How
Yikes.
dare he?
I
And
know.
you can blame Hurricane Irma, kind of, for somewhat, a
sort
little
of.
bit hitting us,
Just
but not
making us lazy more than anything.
more than anything. Yeah, and just our city is not really built for rain in any quantity, you know. So that kind of hinders your ability to meet and do podcasts.
Very true.
But regardless, we are here this time. And how are you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
I'm doing pretty well. It's the weekend now. Feels good.
Very happy about that football season.
First home football game.
Finally. You usually don't have to wait
Holy
3
cow.
weeks to get to one.
And we're 2-0, which makes it even better.
Yep, if we win, we
We're,
might be
we're
ranked.
talking about South Carolina Gamecocks, by the way.
By the way, for
Yeah.
all of our...
Not the Bengals.
No! Can we please never talk about them?
We might bring them up.
Well, anyway, talking about video games, Will, you might have played other things, but I'm most interested right now. I want to know, how has Destiny 2 been? That's the hot thing right now.
It's been really good.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it so far. Actually, kind of more so than I thought it would. I played the beta when it came out, and it was okay. I didn't love it though. But then I got it at launch, and I don't know. I probably played about 10 hours of it, I guess. Gone through the campaign some, which has been good. The campaign, I guess, is actually one of the main things that they spruced up for the sequel, because the first one had a little bit of one, but not much narrative.
Right.
They barely had any cutscenes. This one feels a lot more like a regular first-person shooter campaign.
Yeah.
At least the bit that I've played of it, which is really nice. There seems to be more of a story that makes sense.
And not one you have to go read online
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, like, obviously the gameplay of Destiny, or I guess of Bungie games in general, has never been an issue. They've always been great at it, and that continues here. It very much feels like Destiny 1, but that's not a bad thing at all. It looks prettier. Yeah, and the characters and story, I think, definitely have made me like it more. So,
That was good.
very broad, but yeah, it's
Are
good.
you enjoying the grind?
I am. I'm not very high of a level. I'm not one of those people that is able to get top level in a few days.
Yeah.
I definitely take my time with it more. So I'm really enjoying like getting the uncommons and then the rares and legendaries, and
Yeah.
so I like watching my character progress like that. It's been a lot of fun so far. Maybe whenever I get max level, it will wear on me a little and I won't like it as much. But right now, very much enjoying it.
Are you done with the campaign, or are you like...
No, I'm probably about halfway through.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been playing some Crucible and other things along with the story. So
I know the raid's live now, right?
yeah,
I hear
they're-
people
I guess
talk
yesterday.
about Destiny constantly.
yeah, I don't know how many people have done it. I saw that the first people that played it did it in like 6 hours, which is just such a long time
It's a while.
to play a single game. But,
Okay, hey, we are back. Sorry about that. Always forget to unplug the phones that like to interrupt their podcast, and it's annoying. But as I was asking, do you have like any group of friends you're playing Destiny with?
my roommate from last year, we've played a little bit of like just through the campaign, public events and stuff. But no, I don't have a dedicated like fire team that I go through with.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I kind of like playing it alone, but it probably would be more fun with people.
Well, I know my roommate has hinted he kind of wants us to get it, so if we do, you should play it with us.
There we go. I
Even-
definitely do that.
Even if you're burnt out on it, you have to come like carry us back through or something. Like
That's going to be the next game Olivia gets really into.
Probably. She'd probably be good at it. She plays Overwatch and she's really good. So
You'll just have to take Overwatch away for a bit so that she's forced to play it.
I'm gonna take this for a week. 1 week. She'd have withdrawals, like shaky on the
It
ground.
might kill you.
She might. Like I should probably worry about that. Worry about my safety if I were to do that. Well, you have anything else on Destiny 2?
No, I mean, I'm really excited to keep playing it.
Are you as annoyed about the shaders as some people are. Like,
So I'm not far enough to have any shaders yet, but
Scrub.
yes, I'm mad that that's the thing.
it's
Seems really
pretty.
weird.
Okay, cool.
Explain,
question.
explain to the people who don't know. Like,
I mean, from what I understand, so
and
Destiny
explain
1,
the problem, from Destiny 1.
in Destiny 1, shaders were just like a cosmetic item that you could apply onto your costume, I guess, at any point, your armor and stuff. And Destiny 2 is the same thing, but once you apply it and say you don't like it and you take it off, then it's just gone forever. So it's a consumable instead of just a...
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very annoying too, because I mean, you used to be able just to collect a whole bunch of shaders and change your colors on the fly, and
now you have to worry about I only have 2 left of this.
Yeah, what if I don't like the next?
And people have talked a lot about you get this piece of armor and you shade everything to look like it is, and you're like, yeah, this looks great, and then you walk 20 feet and find another armor that's better, and it's like, well, I have to equip this as better, but then now it looks bad again.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
it's
didn't even think about it.
People have talked about that. They're like,
Huh.
yeah, I'll look great for just a second, and then it's like...
Oh, wait, so you apply it to an individual piece of armor, then when you change it, the shader's gone?
I actually didn't know that part. That might be true.
It might not be. It might not be, but I know people have just talked about how everyone looks like a Skittle. They look like
I mean,
a bag of Skittles, because everyone has
That'd
different
be
colors.
dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is dumb anyway, but
I
that'd
might
be extra
be wrong.
dumb.
Don't quote me on it. I have not actually played the game. I've just heard people complaining about it.
Either way, just the fact that it's a consumable is really weird.
Yeah, it's strange.
Because you can't even try on things. Basically, it's just well, maybe you can see a preview of what it would look like, but either way,
it's kind of dumb to have to collect them like that. And it's the thing, especially since if the first game didn't have it, it's kind of dumb that they added that in now.
Yeah, I think they said. I mean, they definitely said it was an intentional change. I guess to make shaders more rare or worthwhile
or
to have.
sell them to people. Is it a microtransaction thing? I'm not really sure. But...
I know there are microtransactions, but I don't know if shaders are part of that. Might be. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
I mean, usually those kind of change is usually tied back to something where well, if you want this annoying issue to go away, give us more money. That's where that's where microtransactions can get kind of shady.
Yeah.
And annoying like that. Yeah. Well, if we're done with Destiny 2,
sure.
I'll move on. I think I can't remember now. It's been 2 weeks, but I think my goal was to beat Uncharted: Lost Legacy.
Actually, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, I realized after we got done with the podcast last time, we didn't set goals.
Oh, okay.
We forgot.
Well, whatever. That would have been my goal. I did it. I beat the Lost Legacy. Really, really, really fun game. It's kind of like a lot of the things I've already been saying before are still true. It's more of a half step between Uncharted 4 and the new game than I thought it was going to be, but it's not bad. Like the mechanics, the gunplay and the puzzles and everything, and visually, it's very Uncharted 4. It's not all that much different, but the story is fleshed out like a whole new game. It's not like a, they didn't do any half stuff when it comes to the story. The characters, Chloe and Nadine, were awesome characters. And kind of seeing them grow and getting to know each other and everything was really fun. The puzzles are actually better in this one than Uncharted 4. Granted, it's kind of weird for me to say because I played it with my sister and her part of it, she did a lot of the puzzles, and I would she's better at those anyway, and it gave her something to actually do instead of just watching me the whole time. I helped, but she definitely did most of the heavy lifting when it came to the puzzles. And then she would give it back to me, and I would run guns a-blazing and shoot everything. So we had different roles there. But still, I highly recommend this game a lot. I could see potentially, if you're already kind of burnt out on Uncharted, I could see $40 being a bit much for a whole thing. And it's I think it took me 8.5 hours to beat it. So it's pretty lengthy. Basically, if you like Uncharted 4... and you want more of it, and you're not kind of burnt out on it, I think it's definitely worth it. Mm-hmm. If maybe you didn't like Uncharted 4, or you're just kind of tired of that right now, I wouldn't, fault people for waiting on it, because it is definitely more Uncharted 4. So
never a bad thing.
No,
great game.
Great game, very, very great game, and I love Chloe as a character. Chloe's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
And I think Nadine, I'm glad that this is what I'm left off this is my lasting impression of Nadine, because I don't know if I'm alone, but I thought in Uncharted 4 she was a highly underused character.
Yeah, she was just there.
Yeah,
Like a bodyguard.
Well, like, they introduced her like she's gonna be this whole part of the story and this big character, and then she's only in it like 3 times or something.
Yeah.
Like, and not really in any like big, weighty capacity. So it was cool to have this whole 8.5-hour journey where she's your sidekick the entire time. So
yeah.
it was really cool to see that. And Naughty Dog is just so good at writing, and it, I do kind of hope that they put Uncharted to bed for a while, though. I'm sure they're going to come back at some point with Uncharted, but I want The Last of Us Part 2, obviously, but then I want to see the other team, like the other side of Naughty Dog, start working on something new.
Yeah.
Because you saw how awesome it was when they did The Last of Us, did something new there. I want to see them, I think if we had another Uncharted immediately, I would get burnt out. Like, I would get to the point where I'm kind of tired of them. So I think this is the good point to just leave it there.
I know what they need to work on. Crash Team Racing 2.
They do not. Someone else does. No,
I'm joking.
They're
That'd be
They're
weird.
going to go back and make Jak and Daxter.
No, they're going to make Uncharted Kart.
Oh, gosh.
Uncharted Kart.
Uncharted Kart.
Ooh.
Uncharted.
At that point, they should just make Naughty Dog Kart and just, like, add all of it. Just add, like, Crash, Jak, Uncharted, The Last of Us. You have Joel, like, racing in the car.
That'd be amazing.
Dream come true.
You can race as a clicker.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do it. I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'd be down. Jeff, what have you been playing?
Okay, I got 2 things. Oh, by the way, just to make sure. Well, did you have anything else you were?
Yeah, I did kind of skip over anything else you had to say. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, not really. I finished Life is Strange, which we don't really need to talk about that a whole lot, but
We got Life is Strange
incredible
Before
game.
the Storm to talk about later.
That's true.
We haven't played it yet, but we'll talk about something.
Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it. So.
Okay. Make sure. Okay, I have 2 things I've been playing. It's been 2 weeks. All I've done. Been busy. Played some more Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes.
Fun stuff. There is a lot of extra stuff you can do. A lot more than I originally thought. So it took me a while to do the extra stuff from the first world, which is a lot of fun. There's just kind of like extra challenges you can do.
Okay.
And the gameplay is a lot of fun, so I welcome it.
Nice.
And I'm halfway through World 2.
Okay, how many worlds are there? Do you know?
I believe there is 4.
Okay.
And that might sound like it's not a lot, but once you get through everything and all the extra challenges and stuff, it's a decently meaty game. The amount you would want for this game, I feel. I need to wait till you're done with it, but I'm satisfied so far. Game's great.
Still satisfied with the difficulty? People say it can get pretty hard. Like,
yeah, some of the challenges and stuff were pretty challenging. I mean, I've only really failed, I think, during one thing, but I at least had to think and everything. No, like, I've been breezing through it. Though there was one thing that upset me, the one I kept on failing at. It was an escort mission. You had to escort a Toad, and you had a turn limit.
There's always the worst in Fire Emblem.
I completely, at some point, forgot about the turn limit because everything was going so well for me. I had the Toad one space away, and then I ended my turn saying, fail. It's like, I just needed one turn.
So you have to, like, rage quit at that point, right?
Oh, I just went on to the next one. It's like, I'll deal with this later. I'll deal with that one later. I still kept on playing.
That sucks so bad.
Yeah. But it's a great game.
So everything I've heard, which is so crazy that this game ended up being as good as it seems like it is.
Mm-hmm. So I also played another very surprising thing I didn't expect. Let people know the first bit of news we're really going to talk about the Nintendo Direct and all that's in that. The second thing I played has to do with the Direct, strangely enough. So this is going to be a bit of impression/news.
So news jingle?
Jingle, you get half of it.
Jangle. Jangle.
No, I was going to save it for when we get to the real news. Half of it now, half of it later.
Alright, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Gotta take it back.
Edit it out.
Okay.
Now we can't reference it because I'm referencing it now, so people are just not gonna know what I'm talking about if I did edit it out. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Okay, so people who do not know, the Nintendo Direct, they officially kind of revealed Project Octopath Traveler. They kind of get a little teaser or whatever. I think during the January event, I don't think they really showed anything, but they like officially revealed a lot of things in this. So the basic information is from the Bravely Default team.
Yes.
So obviously it's made by Square Enix. It is Switch exclusive.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It has a 2018 release. No specific time in 2018 at the moment. And after, or at the end of the little Octopath presentation, they said, hey, demo is coming out right after the Direct. And of course everyone freaked out because we definitely did not see that coming.
Right.
And cool thing they said is there's going to be a survey coming up soon on the Square Enix website, I guess, where you can give feedback for the demo since they're still working on it.
Okay.
Which some people are happy with. There's little things here and there they can potentially work on.
That's cool to have.
Yeah.
That's
So it also makes me wonder how far along this game is. Say 2018, but when are they playing on it if they're already giving us a demo?
Yeah, that I wouldn't have expected them to have a demo ready.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't have. So you played the demo.
I did. So, get some background of the demo. Okay, and I guess I'll talk about Octopath Traveler a little bit. The Octopath thing makes a little more sense now that we know more about the game. There are 8 playable characters you can choose from to start the story. So 8 paths and everything, blah, blah, blah. In the demo, they gave you 2 characters to play as. One of them being Ulbrich, I think I'm pronouncing that name right, who's just a soldier who kind of failed in, his duty and just kind of living in a village.
Generic soldier.
Yeah. And then Primrose, who is a dancer whose story is some people killed her father and she wants revenge.
Whoa.
Just, your normal story.
Yeah. So yeah, you get to play the first, I guess about an hour. I think it took me about an hour to get through both their stories. So, and then you can still explore afterwards.
Does it seem like something that's kind of just like dropping, like it's just a slice of the game, or do you start like at the beginning of the game? Like
you start at the beginning of both the stories.
Okay.
So I started out playing as Ulbrich, the soldier dude. His story thing was pretty, it was cool, but kind of generic-y, kind of like, because like generic soldier dude.
Generic soldier, yeah.
Yeah.
Like generic, just fantasy type thing. Or
not even that much of...
Medieval, I guess.
Yeah,
is what
medieval.
more,
Though there is magic in this. It's
more of what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. But what really surprised me, was making me hooked on this game as far as the story goes, is Primrose's story. I did not expect.
Okay.
It quickly showed that this game might be a little more mature than you originally thought. Okay,
Yeah.
Like I said, it starts out with she's a little girl and she sees her father getting killed by the assassins. Oh, by the way, I guess spoilers for the Octopath.
Yeah, retroactive spoiler alert. Just, I guess, skip ahead a little bit if you don't want more spoilers. It's just
it's the beginning of both their things.
Yeah,
So.
I doubt there's
Yeah.
there's not too much you could spoil of a demo,
Yeah.
but
But what is interesting is, after a little flashback it shows, she is kind of, I guess best way to put it, kind of a slave/sex slave to someone. And is, forced to dance for him. But she's kind of doing it for her own reasons. It's kind of hard to explain without getting really into it, so she can find these guys. It's quickly realized this game's darker than you originally thought.
Yeah,
And I mean that in a good way. So I guess I won't say any more about the story things, because if you want to try this demo, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
It can surprise you in ways.
That's awesome. How's the combat?
I was about to get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess combat, fantastic. It's of course the kind of old school strategy type thing. Little thing at the top that shows you the turn order. Yeah. I always enjoy that.
Yes.
So what happens with this? The enemies have a shield thing that has a number on it. And all enemies have their own weaknesses. And if you hit an enemy with a weakness, their shield numbers go down. And when their shield breaks, they lose a turn, and they're susceptible to more damage.
Right.
So what is really fun about this is figuring out what their weakness is, because you actually got to try out some stuff to figure out what it is, and figure out what's the best way to break all people's shields in the best amount of way, and make sure they skip their turns so you don't die. Because throughout the whole demo, for the most part, at least the normal part of it, you are just one of these characters against, you know, a group of enemies each battle.
Okay.
And there's I'm forgetting what the name of it is. They're like a little meter thing that kind of goes up by 1 each time.
Yeah.
And if you activate it, or it goes up by 1 each turn, when you can activate it any time, go up to like 4, your attacks get more powerful, or if you use your basic attack, you attack more than once. And you can use that to break people's shields. So I did that sometimes when someone had like a 4 shield. You can put that up to max, attack with the normal attack, broke their 4 shield down to nothing, and they broke.
That's cool. Sounds like some like old school style turn based things, but it sounds like they're doing some different like interesting things with it to make it.
Yeah.
Like just from just the trailers and stuff I've seen, art style is gorgeous.
So good, and the music's so good, Darby.
Yeah.
Music great.
Absolutely. So like if you haven't seen it, anyone listening, it's sorry I have a cold. It's like it's kind of like an 8-bit like looking like the sprites and stuff, or you know the sprites look like an older like kind of blocky like texture thing or whatever, but the lighting is almost like a modern game. It's like all these like very, you know, vibrant colors and stuff, and like it's 3D even though it's like the blocky sprite. It's hard to explain. You kind of have to look at it.
They described it HD 2D. That's what the devs
basically call it. yeah. It's like you took a 2D game and you just made it high res and 3D and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I'm not doing the best job explaining all this, but hoping I'm selling people on this.
It's hard to explain the visuals. You really have to go.
Well, I mean, just this game in general.
Yeah.
Trying to not do too crazy. I'll tell you guys one thing in particular that was badass. Then don't want to spoil it for people who want to try it out.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't want to know it,
Okay.
this is the game you would love, Darby.
I can already tell. I can already tell.
Also, what was very surprising, well, other than the story being, you know, as strong and making me want to, like, I really want to play this game to at least go on, especially with Primrose's story, is the voice acting in this game. I was probably surprised with voice acting in general.
That's surprising. Like, from the trailer, I was like, it kind of just sounded like your typical, like, kind of bad English voiceover thing, but it might have just been because of the trailer. And it might have just been because I was mostly hearing that knight who just sounded very generic and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the story and voice acting thing I'm talking about, a lot of it is Primrose's story.
Okay.
That's, like, and I think people, when I read some impressions for this, a lot of people agree with me that Primrose's story and everything was stronger. Because, again, Ober's kind of generic knight dude, which is not bad. Yeah. Especially if there are, 8 stories and they're all, pretty strong.
I mean, yeah, there's going to be some characters, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, part of my problem, like, even with, like, Fire Emblem games, a lot of times, like, their emotions, especially in the English version thing, just feel fake to me.
No. Like, from what I've, heard of Primrose's voice actress is really good. Okay. Especially for this kind of thing.
That's good.
Not the best thing ever, but for this, it's exceeded my expectations.
Cool.
And everything surrounding it's pretty good.
You got me excited about this game for sure.
Yep. So, expect for us to talk more about that as we get more news, and especially when it comes out next year.
Yeah.
It quickly went from I'm interested to probably day one. Demo was just that good.
Well, that's awesome. I hope it worries me that there's like no date attached to it. But if they're already having demos, that's a good sign. Or an actual name. It's still a working title. That's also a problem.
Yeah, but they got at least this much done, so at least have the groundwork done.
True. But, I mean, I guess Spider-Man was hashtag Spider-Man PS4 for like a full year. So,
we still have like a year and a half to wait.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Anyway, great game.
Alright.
People who have a Switch, try out that demo.
Alright, we'll finish the jingle then, Jeff.
Jangle.
There you go. Nailed it.
Okay. And the news. We're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. I'm going to kind of somewhat go in order as the Direct happens. This is going to be a weird thing where some news will take 2 seconds. I'm just going to say what kind of happened. Some of it I'm going to actually read some articles to get more details.
Yeah.
And, of course, depending on what the news is, depends how much we'll talk about, probably.
Yes.
There's one in particular that we can go into a little bit, I think.
Okay.
First thing up, they show Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Gave some details. And it just left me with the thought of, why should anyone care?
Someone probably will.
I mean, Pokemon, I know people do, but this is a common thing. It's like, they're not showing off anything new. A lot of it seems to be a rehash of Sun and Moon, but looks like they're trying to show this off as something more.
Yeah, we added like 2 Pokemon. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was about like.
The Pokeball 3DS, 2DS thing looks cool.
Yeah. So is the gold and silver thing? Is that like the actual? Is it the old game?
Oh, yeah, it's virtual console. Yeah.
Yeah.
They announced that a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was news to me, but I don't follow this stuff, so I didn't.
I
didn't know. And it was just I didn't know it's a gold version. I've only ever just heard it called gold, so I didn't know if that was something different. Like I didn't know if I was missing something, but like,
no. And yeah, that's cool. I'm fine.
Yeah, that is cool.
Though,
older ones.
well, then again, me and Alex were talking about nuzlocking that after we try to get done with this one. Potentially that
could be easier way to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all for that. Not much. I mean, there's some news on there if you're really interested, but nothing really of note. Next thing, real quick, they announced Minecraft 3DS or /2DS.
And can I say the biggest surprise to me was that it's not already on there.
Like when they announced, like, wasn't this already a thing? Apparently not.
I just assume Minecraft is on everything. Like it's probably gonna be on that microwave at some point. Like it's like you're.
Why isn't it on this bottle of water already?
One day it will be. So will Skyrim. Skyrim will also be on every microwave, fridge.
Skyrim for microwave.
The big news about that, of course, is coming out on the new 3DS and 2DS only, which kind of makes sense, and it's out now. It came out immediately after the presentation, which I guess is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah. For people who hasn't already, played Minecraft and wants to.
Or just you want Minecraft on one more thing, you just have to have it on everything. Possible.
Next thing. Okay, this is an article.
This is where the rage comes in.
Okay, this comes from Andrew Gold from IGN. During the Nintendo Direct this past week, Nintendo revealed Mario Party, the Top 100, a new minigame collection that will be released for 3DS on November 10th. The Top 100 includes 100 minigames selected from every previous home console Mario Party game. Mario Party Top 100 include download play, allowing up to 4 people to play for multiple 3DS systems, usually only one cartridge. That's cool, at least.
So, yeah, like, if you just say you're gonna, like, release a thing with, like, the top 100 Mario Party, like, minigames from all of Mario Party of all time, awesome. It's like, yeah, that's a day one buy. We're gonna play it on the Switch, on the couch, and it's gonna be great. Only 3DS. I can't understand why this is like. You have a new system that you're trying to sell, and this is perfect for it.
Yeah, I immediately get annoyed when some people, and this isn't for Nintendo games, but everything, are like, why isn't this on the Switch? There's one case where I'm like, yeah, why isn't this on the Switch?
Well, because it legitimately doesn't, I don't want to play this on the 3DS.
Who would play that with friends on the 3DS?
It'd be a much worse experience. You all have to get your 3DSs out. No, that's not how I want to play that.
I watched a couple because I just like to see how people react, reaction streams to it. Went from a couple of people I follow. Everyone was like, oh, this is awesome. And then, they realized it's 3DS and it's like, why?
Why?
It quickly went to, this is awesome, to, this is garbage.
Even if they had been like, it's coming to the Switch later, I would be like, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Honestly.
But it didn't mention the Switch at all. And I guess it still could, but they didn't say it. And it seems like they would have said something about it. Because, that would have been a bigger headline to me. And it's still weird to me how, shortly after the Switch, they came out, they announced the 2DS and, several other 3DS stuff, and I was like, this is weird that they're supporting the old one this much, but I'm like, they're gonna do it, and we're still early, so it's gonna, but they've continued, we're 5 or 6 months, or whatever we are, out from the Switch, and there's still, there's some big games that they're putting on only the 3DS.
Yeah, I'm really confused as to why everything that's coming out on 3DS isn't automatically just on Switch 2. It
seems like you would at least try to get most of them, yeah. Obviously, we're not game developers. I don't know how easy it is to, this they might have already been working on this before, long before the Switch was a thing.
I can't see that.
But then,
not this one, because it's taking old games and redoing them.
So then, what is the business reason to not put this on the Switch? I just don't. I don't understand it. I mean, there's more people with 3DSs, but you're trying to sell a new console, and this fits the console.
Yeah, that's just the easy argument for any of this. But at the same time, it's like, well, they're making all these other games for Switch already. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. If they're gonna put this on the 3DS, it should have been on both.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I mean, that would. based on what I've seen, there are a lot of people who would have bought this if it was Switch. I probably would have bought it.
I imagine you would have, because like we could have gotten together. That could have been in our rotation of like multiplayer games we play on the couch while we're hanging out.
I think I don't know if this is fact. I probably should have checked. I think they said there are going to be some boards on this, and it may not be just straight up mini games. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's a cool idea to have like all of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there was a lot more 3DS stuff, but none of it was particularly big news. So we're gonna move on to their Switch section. All right, actually, I will say that's for the Switch or this presentation. I like the style of it. I know, Darby, you didn't. You at least last time you didn't care for the little newsreel thing.
Still don't really care for it, but
yeah,
I just don't like how you like. I don't know, with all these things, like maybe it's just because I like the hype of it, but I like being like surprised when it's like suddenly boom, like there's like the Final Fantasy VII remake reveal or whatever. When that happened, I had no clue it was coming.
Well, with stuff like that, they do either little vague things, or in the case of Octopath and Mario and Xenoblade, it wasn't on there. They just said, "Hey, here's a spotlight." Boom.
Yeah.
So big stuff, they're not doing it on the reel, or they at least have vague little titles about it.
Yeah. I just don't see the benefit of having if you don't know, like the way they do these directs, like they have a list of headlines that they're going down into, so you can see what's coming next. Like you can see the next like 5 or 6.
At least in this one, the stuff you can see are not big deals. Or stuff you see coming.
And some of them they put like question marks there or something that block out
little vague things. Like for Dragon Quest Builders, which is coming up, they had a little vague thing that had quest and I don't know, something else in it. It's like, what is this exactly? It made sense once you saw it, but yeah. But yeah, they spent 10 minutes on 3DS, which was good, and then the rest of the 35 minutes on the Switch made me happy.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the way quick. Okay, first thing, and the thing that probably annoyed people the most out of this direct, Xenoblade. That's how they started the Switch section. About 10 minutes of it.
Oh, it would never end.
I enjoyed it because I like Xenoblade, but even I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm sure, like, if you like, if you're into the series, but like, I feel like they have to know that not everyone watching this is.
Yeah.
And just this happens so much when Japanese people are making like event for Americans or whatever, and they don't quite get it because like, this thing just. It kept going and going and going.
There was one point in particular where it's like, okay, it's over. They're going to say the title and the release date. It's like, nope, kept on going for a little.
It's like, we're going to show you
every
little tiny like system in this game. Here's a health potion.
Oh my
Here's this. And it's like, it got to be a joke. Like, I was watching the Kind of Funny stream.
Yeah.
And just after a while, like, they're just looking at each other and they're just like, saying, so how you doing, Tim? They just start talking to each other because they just would not stop. But Jeff actually liked Xenoblade, so it was probably not as annoying to him.
Yes. But yeah, immediately I was like, okay, let's move along, guys. But then I realized, wasting time, I realized, if they shorten this, that just means the direct in the end would just be shorter. Wouldn't replace anything like some people say. So
no, I don't. I just think it would be a tighter thing, and I would want to fall asleep less. But did you like? Did you like what you saw though, Jeff?
Yep. I liked the little world building they did. Made me a little more excited for the story. Making it a little less straight up anime garbage. Well, I say that, but it's mainly because of the designs. The designs for the two main characters still aren't great.
Yeah, that girl's pretty, like, barely clothed. Like, that does not seem practical for combat.
No. Yeah. I guess I'll get my problems out of the way with just the game in general real quick. Character designs, well, mainly, honestly, just like I said, the two main characters, which is, I guess, a problem. The rest of them I'm okay with. I'm okay with the art style. I play Tales games and I watch anime. I don't care for the anime. I mean, I'm okay with the anime art style. Voice acting, again, unfortunately, it seems like the worst two are the two main characters. A lot of the other people, I'm like, they're okay with. Okay, all that stuff's over. Again, I like the world building and everything they did in there. I'm not going to go through everything, of course. The setting up the Titans are like their own countries and they're like different factions and everything. People don't know the Titans are like giant beasts that have civilizations living like on their backs.
Yeah.
And they showed off how each of the Titans are completely different, like as far as the environment goes and how the world looks, which is very exciting to me. And the battle system, A lot of people say it's slow and boring. That's Xenoblade combat, just the way it is. You either like it or you don't. It's MMO combat. I actually enjoy that stuff. I just don't like everything else that normally comes with MMOs. But I like it in Xenoblade because Xenoblade actually has its own characters, you stay with, and its own story.
Cool.
So that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed everything I saw of that.
MMOs for people who don't like MMOs.
Yeah.
Like Destiny.
Yeah. Just different types of MMOs.
And a lot of systems, but that's how I like my JRPGs and like Xenoblade and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, I understand why people may not be into this, but I'm really into it.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
I'm tired of people saying this looks garbage. Like, you're wrong.
It's just different tastes. I am interested to see like how this sells, like how many people there are out there. I don't know how Chronicles sold, but
not great.
Yeah.
Wait, you say Chronicles or Chronicle X?
I meant Chronicles X. I meant the one that you last played.
I don't think great.
Yeah.
The first one sold better, I think. So we'll see. The most important news, though, comes out December 1st. It's making this year, baby.
They're doubling down on that. At this point, if they delay it, it's going to be really weird. They double down.
The stream that I was actually watching on was the Easy Ally stream. At some point, I think it was Kyle Bossman was like, having for it. Yeah, this is coming out this year. They're not going to show all this stuff, and it's going to be...
in September. It'd be weird,
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he's right. It got me excited. So, another game for me to end on this year.
I am happy for you, Jeffrey.
Yes. Moving on. Cool thing is they announced Snipper Clips Plus. So...
Yes.
Snipper, not sniffer.
Just everyone paused right when I snipped. I'm like, yeah, great. Might pick that up real nice.
Okay, Snipper Clips Plus is like an expansion on the original Snipper Clips. It seems like it's going to be its own game thing. It comes out November 10th. It features 30 plus new levels, which is great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sure me and Darby and our friends will definitely play those.
Price point?
They have not released that.
Gotcha.
They're gonna for replayability of the old levels. They're gonna have remixes there. For like one example, they saw one of the characters started out as a tree.
Okay.
So your original shape's different. So you got to figure out how to do it that way.
That's cool.
So
I saw I know one of them that said it was like based off comic books. Like
yeah,
one of the levels,
yeah, the new worlds, yeah. And one quick other thing, this expansion is available to DLC for people who already own the game, like me, and I'll probably get this.
So you can get a standalone too, though.
Yeah, the extra content. Yeah, you can either get the Snipper Clips with all this additional content for one thing, or if you just want the additional content if you're out the game, get it separately.
Cool.
So I am excited for this.
Yeah, it'd be an awesome reason to go back into that game. Like that was basically just like a really fun weekend for us. Like we had a bunch of friends and we just played Snipper Clips. It's a really fun game.
It looks fun.
You would enjoy it. Like,
yeah.
It's one of those that's very easy to understand, but then like hard to master. It's like it's a fun party game, but like there wasn't a whole lot of levels. Like we got through it pretty fast, and it was like,
I think there was more stuff we could do though. I think there was some else we didn't get to,
but at least the main levels and stuff. So it's cool to have like.
Again, it's a $20 game, so what was there was fine for price point.
I hope this is not that expensive, so that so that we want to buy it. So there's no hesitation.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be pretty expensive for me not to just get it.
yeah.
I think Snipper Clips sold pretty well considering, so that's good.
Listeners, get Snipper Clips especially if you have a Switch. Like,
if the only way to get it.
I mean, I'm saying if you happen to have a Switch, like, go ahead and get it. You need games for it. Just get this fun.
Yeah. Okay, next thing. This should be quick. Skyrim Switch out November 17th.
Yay!
Yeah.
Release point, I guess.
That's all they had left to say at this point.
Wait. So this is Skyrim for Switch. Do you have a release date for Skyrim for microwave yet?
Yeah, when's that coming out?
2020.
Oh, okay.
That's not that more. I'll hold out.
Yeah. But then just need to figure out the microwave technology. Okay, now let's go to the real big Bethesda Switch news.
Oh yeah.
This comes from Andrew Goldfarb from IGN. During the Nintendo Direct this past week, Bethesda confirmed 2 more games headed to Nintendo Switch: Doom and Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Doom will launch on Switch this holiday and includes online multiplayer as well as single player campaign. And this is something I added on there. Some game journalists/personalities, such as Andrea Renee from What's Good Games, has had hands-on time with this version, and the embargo apparently ends next week. So we'll get some impressions for that soon.
Yes.
How it runs and everything. And the Wolfenstein 2 new Colossus will come to Switch in 2018, but no other information was confirmed. So this is pretty big.
Big news, and I was not expecting.
Objectively, the biggest news of this whole direct.
Yeah.
When I first saw this headline, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. The old Doom and Wolfensteins are coming. And then I was like, oh my gosh, these are the new ones. That's awesome. It's really cool.
No, that's the thing. When I saw the headline thing for like when it quickly showed, I was like, okay, Doom, awesome. And I when I saw Wolfenstein, I figured it was the first Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
then I
same.
saw it was 2. I was like, the new one that's not out yet.
I thought it was fake at first. Honestly, when I saw stuff about Doom and Wolfenstein, I was like, no, it's not going to the Switch. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I saw some. I guess they just showed a trailer. There was no gameplay, right? For Doom.
Trailer had something like gameplay. Yeah.
I mean, I saw that people were like comparing the two graphics wise, and it looked really good.
It's a definite downgrade, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a good sign. Like very good sign. These are 2 very big third party first person shooter games.
Yeah.
That are coming to the Switch, and like it hasn't happened much, and I kind of thought it wouldn't happen at all. Where we got games of this caliber coming out on everything, and also the Switch, and especially since it's weird. I wonder when this deal started to be made, because you haven't heard anything about this. Like at E3, they didn't say anything about the Switch or anything. Like I wonder when this came about. With them working with Nintendo. Both of these are Bethesda, so obviously not everyone's got on board with this type of idea. But Bethesda's a pretty big publisher, and if they start doing this with future games, if these sell really well on the Switch, they could be like, well, the next Fallout we make. I mean, that would be a lot harder because it's open world. But the next, Prey 2 or whatever, put it on the Switch or whatever they do next,
Or put the Prey they just released on there to do it. What's gonna be interesting about this? Seeing how well they run, because that's something everyone's been wondering. If these AAA games were ported, how well will they run, and also how well will they sell?
Yes.
Obviously, all the AAA third parties are going to be looking at how these games do.
Well, it's kind of it's going to be one of those, everyone's always said, Nintendo needs the third party, Nintendo needs these big third party games. You're going to have 2 to test it on. And now it's going to be kind of well, let's see what happens.
And I'm happy about, Bethesda doing these 2 as well as Skyrim, because Skyrim's not the best thing to tell. That game's so old at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Doom's...
Well, it's old, and even if it sells really well, a lot of it's nostalgia. We'll have to see how the Switch does with 2 kind of more modern games.
I think getting at these 2 games are a better way to tell how the Switch is going to do with third parties and everything.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I wonder if will the Evil Within end up coming to Switch potentially? That's also Bethesda.
I'm interested to see how far into 2018 Wolfenstein 2 will come.
Yeah,
because based on all this, Bethesda with their Switch games is kind of going with the Nintendo mentality of announcing kind of exact dates and windows pretty close to the release date. And that kind of seems to be Bethesda's thing anyway, so that kind of works out. So
I hope that next year we start to see some games, whether it's Bethesda or other ones, some of them come day and date with the Switch. Because obviously part of this is going to be the sales are going to be hindered partially that by the time Wolfenstein 2 comes out on the Switch, it'll have already been out for a long time on PS4 and everything. But I don't know. It's also going to be very interesting to be able to have Mario Odyssey and Doom next to each other on your Switch.
I should have added this in. I forgot. I was in a rush when I saw it. I think they said something like the Doom's going to come with all the additional DLC and stuff.
Oh, please come with a Mario skin pack or something.
Although something weird with Doom just because of how big it is compared to other games. I think on the cart, if you get the physical version, I think that's the way it is. You get the single player thing, which is what people care about, and you got to download multiplayer stuff because it's so big compared to what they can have on the carts.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's a problem for other games too.
Yeah, for sure.
The size fitting in on the Switch.
Yeah. But again, good sign that this kind of stuff's happening and people, at least Bethesda taking the chance on this. I'm interested to see how Doom runs and everything. If it's a small downgrade and they can keep it whatever frame rate it is on the other ones, that should be fine.
Yeah, it's one of these, if it's just if it's a little small downgrade and it's not the biggest deal, if a Wolfenstein 2 comes out on the Switch and it's just freaking looks like a PS3 game or something terrible, that's when it starts to become a problem. Yeah. So,
we just need to wait and see.
It's not not everything is in the clear yet, but it's really cool. It's cool that this is even happening. So
we might give some updates as far as like how the games he's be running next week, maybe. That seems might be newsworthy. We'll see. Okay, moving on to the next thing. This also comes from Andrew Gold from IGN. When I saw they let Goldfarb handle all the direct stuff.
Good old Goldie.
Yep. During the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo confirmed that several of its arcade classics are headed to the Switch. Arcade's Archives Mario Bros. Will launch on Switch on September 27th. Players can share a Joy-Con to play, and visual details in the arcade version have been preserved and included, according to the presentation. Future games coming to Switch include versus Super Mario Bros., versus Balloon Fight, versus Ice Climbers, versus Pinball, versus Clu Clu Land, and more. Nintendo says these games will contain subtle differences not in other versions. So, we didn't get Virtual Console, but we got this.
I didn't think of it that way. That makes it worse, Jeff.
Stating the facts.
It is true.
But taking away the whole, we got this Virtual Console thing. This is cool.
It is cool.
Adding the versus stuff to all this, and they showed Punch Out, which that would be neat.
Yeah. It's cool to add like multiplayer things to these older games. It gives you more reason to go back into them.
Yeah. I mean, real talk, though, I'd be interested in this depending which games and how they're implemented and stuff, and price, obviously, seeing how much they are. I mean, real talk, though, Punch Out, with multiplayer and stuff, if that's thing apparently runs well and everything, and price right, I'd get it.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun thing for us to play.
It'd be a lot of fun, yeah. I just hope we also get Virtual Console. I don't want this to be a replacement for it.
See, I mean, depending on how they do it, I feel like this is going to be a thing that happens when they come out with their online service next year, whenever that is.
It probably will. But
yeah.
I don't know if things like this is just hey, quit complaining about it, it's coming. Like, it's just like, in the meantime, give us more money for this. And then once Virtual Console comes, you'll buy it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Oh wait, I guess real quick. Pinball on the Switch might be cool.
Yeah.
Yep. I just realized that. Okay, moving on. Another quick thing. In the presentation, they announced Dragon Quest Builders is coming out on the Switch spring 2018.
Cool.
They previously announced that Dragon Quest Builders 2, at least I think Square Enix Japan announced coming out on the Switch, but this is the first time we saw that the original one's coming out. Apparently a very good game. Cool. I enjoyed my time with the demo. Good game for it. Okay. Moving on.
Alright, let's speed through Kirby. We gotta get out of Nintendo land, dude.
We got more than half
I know we do.
This is a big Nintendo week. I'm sorry, Will.
Okay.
I see you're disinterested. Okay, this comes from Andrew Goldfarb from IGN. During this week's Nintendo Direct, Nintendo released new information about 2 new Kirby titles headed to 3DS and Switch. After initial tease at E3, Nintendo officially unveiled Kirby's Switch debut as Kirby Star Allies. Star Allies will let you team up one Kirby with multiple others, either single player or in co-op with friends. Gameplay involves teaming up to mix 2 abilities, such as combining ESP with Stone for a Stone Drop. Other abilities shown include turning a bomb into a hot air balloon.
As you do.
Yes. Kirby Star Allies will come to Switch in spring 2018, and Kirby Battle Royale is the multiplayer Kirby game Nintendo teased earlier this year and is now confirmed for 3DS with a release date of January 19, 2018. Multiple different modes will be included, such as Battle Arena, which will have various versions of Kirby squaring off in battle until the last Kirby standing wins, and a racing mode in which you collect treasure to go faster than other players. Battle Royale includes single-player online battles, and abilities shown off during the Direct include Ice, Whip, Tornado, and more. Yes.
Yeah, the Battle Royale doesn't look that appealing to me, but
They're releasing a lot of Kirby stuff. It's just
the Switch Kirby game looks really cool, though. Love the art style. Like the art style layout, it looks like, I mean, not as good as Odyssey, but it looks more modern like that. It looks like closer to that than other things.
I can promise you the budget for Kirby is significantly less, also.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm not actually trying to compare it to it. It's just I'm just saying it reminds me more of that than like other Kirby games, and the platforming actually looks like good. Part of like I like Kirby games, but sometimes they can be a little too like kid and too like simplistic, but this actually looks like there's a decent amount of abilities and different like cool, interesting stuff going on.
It'll be fun.
And the multiplayer aspect of it,
And apparently DDD lifts now.
Oh, DDD is jacked, dude.
Yes.
Huge. Just absolutely huge.
Yes.
He's been going to the gym.
Yes. Okay, last thing for the Direct. not much to really talk about other than as far as news goes, but they ended it, of course, with trailer / presentation name for Super Mario Odyssey. Trailer was, of course, amazing, but I have the feeling they're showing too much now.
Yeah, the thing is, if they stopped right here, it might be okay, but they're probably not. There's
probably going to be a direct for
Yeah.
Mario, which I may not watch.
I mean, I don't exactly blame them. It's something like every single time you put out anything about Mario Odyssey, every news thing everywhere is going to be talking about it, and everyone, Nintendo is going to be flashing all over the place. So I kind of get why they want to keep showing things, but at this point, it's like, yeah, if you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it. You don't need to be sold on Mario Odyssey at this point.
Yeah.
I agree.
And as far as news for this goes, they announced a bundle which will include a digital copy of the game as well as a pair of Mario Red Joy-Con controllers and a Super Mario Odyssey themed carrying case. And the price is $379.99. So it's the cost of buying other things separately.
Yeah, you don't actually save any money.
Yeah. So people
Wow.
don't know about that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those things mobs walking in Walmart aren't
Yeah.
going to know that,
Huh.
They're just
Yeah.
going, oh, look at that. Huh. It's a bundle.
Yeah, the Direct. I like the Direct overall. The only thing that might be missing is the announcement of a giant game. People were upset, really upset about no Animal Crossing or Smash.
I did want Smash, but I mean, I thought for the most part, I mean, the Wolfenstein Doom thing in and of itself, that was enough of a big announcement right there. But
and it seems like this was focusing mainly this year, and Nintendo's trying to not announce things too far ahead for the most part. Other than I guess Pokemon and Prime.
Yeah.
So other than those, so we'll hear all that stuff later.
Yeah.
So on to the non-direct news, but we're keeping with Nintendo news. Because a lot of stuff happened. Okay.
This is important.
Yeah. I'm just going to read two articles back to back.
Go for it.
Because they kind of...
Yeah, they go. Yeah.
Okay. This comes from Timur Hussein from GameSpot. I think that's pronounced wrong. I think I spelled it wrong, but...
Will, you're up.
That is Timur Hussein.
Yes, okay. Timur Hussein. I pronounced it right. Cool. Okay, from GameSpot. Nintendo has announced it will extend availability of the SNES Mini/Classic Edition in 2018 for those in Europe, or North America and Europe. That's a shift from its previous plans to only deliver the system until the end of 2017. And this comes from Chris Pereira from GameSpot. Alongside plans to expand on the planned availability of the SNES Classic Edition, Nintendo has announced that it will revive last year's NES Classic Edition. Assuming you haven't yet resorted to buying the system at an exorbitant price, you'll have a chance to pick one up at retail in stores next year. Few specifics were shared, but we know the NES Classic Edition is coming back to at least North America and Europe. It's still a ways off, however, as it won't hit stores until sometime next summer. In a press release, Nintendo said more information about the timing of the return of the NES Classic will be announced in the future.
So they're making a little bit of a step to try and make these things more available, but we're at the point where it comes to Nintendo in these classic editions. I don't believe them with anything they say about. Even if they say they're gonna make you're gonna make 20 more, cool. It's just it's never enough. They never actually stock enough.
I wonder if they would raise the price.
That's something I think was later in this article, but I just put the actual news something there's no word if the price is going to be the same.
Honestly, I would be
for the
surprised
NES
if they raised the
Classic.
price.
I wouldn't either.
It would make sense.
Especially with how much there's such a freaking demand for it.
Yeah.
Scalpers are just making too much money off of it.
No, question real quick. Does Olivia know about this yet?
I do not know.
Okay.
Olivia, do you know?
Hey, Olivia. Let us know.
She hasn't. She didn't answer.
Maybe she listened. I guess we'll find out if she listened. Maybe we just shouldn't tell her. So tell us if you know.
Yep. So yeah, this is, I guess, hopefully they put enough in stock so I can actually get one without being up randomly at midnight or waiting, in front of the stores.
Well, they had to have known that only delivering it to the end of 2017 was not going to be enough.
Oh yeah, I just remember something. I think me and Olivia talked about going to a store in 2 weeks to potentially get some.
Are you going to camp out?
Man, I camp out but go early. So, we'll see.
When does it
September
release?
29th. 2 weeks from the time of this recording. So, we'll see how that goes.
And are all pre-orders pretty much just done?
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Unless, people learn they get any more stock. So yeah, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is sad news too.
Yeah. Okay, this is a follow-up to a story we had last time. And I'm sorry if it's going to sound weird. I might skip around because this article is pretty long.
Oh, yeah.
See how I feel about reading the whole thing. This comes from Kevin Knezovic from GameSpot. Undoubtedly the biggest surprise to come out of Nintendo's Nindy Summer Showcase last month was Travis Strikes Again, a brand new installment in the No More Heroes series releasing exclusively for Switch. GameSpot got a chance to sit down with the game's director, the eccentric Suda51, at PAX West and learn some more details about its unique collaborations with other indie games. Travis Strikes Again isn't a direct continuation of the series, but a spin-off of sorts taking place 7 years after the original No More Heroes. This is just talking about what the game's like. In this title, Travis and Bradman are stuck into a phantom console called the Death Drive Mark II, and the two must fight their way through 6 different games in order to escape. While specific details haven't been revealed, the game will also feature a number of collaborations with prominent indie developers. During its announcement trailer, for instance, Travis could be seen playing Hotline Miami. Suda shed a bit more light on what form these collaborations will take. He said, as far as collaborations with other games and stuff goes, well, you saw Hotline Miami in the trailer, but basically we're calling it the T-shirt collaboration. Travis is going to be wearing T-shirts of different indie games. I've been going around the PAX West convention talking to lots of different indie creators, checking out their games and finding people to collaborate with the T-shirt thing. But that's pretty much all I can comment on as far as collaborations goes, end quote. As far as the different games Travis and Batman will have to clear, it doesn't appear they'll be based on other indie games as was originally speculated. Suda then said, at this point, there's 6 games that go with this console that Travis must get sucked into and fight his way through these different game worlds. But they're not actually other real indie games. They're pretty much original games, each created for this game specifically. Boo.
So this was like I get it that like sometimes the internet can just like get like, you know, like the No Man's Sky type thing. They can like create things in their own head and get hyped up for things that haven't actually been there. I don't know how else we were supposed to take this.
Yeah, that's
false marketing for sure.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's also a thing of that's the way they showed it in the trailer, and then Suda being at PAX, he talked to people through a translator. I think, and then some things when they were talking about it got lost and misinterpreted in translation.
Well, at least when you announce the game, if literally all it is him wearing T-shirts, then maybe don't make that a prominent part of you announcing.
That's not a news story.
Revealing the game like that. Yeah. Because you come out there and it's just like everyone's just talking about it's Hotline Miami and like they're talking to Shovel Knight, talking to them, and it's like, of course you're gonna think like, and he's going and playing, he's like getting sucked into video games. Yes, you're gonna think that. Yeah. And especially that if all it ends up being is T-shirts, which that's what it sounds like. Oh boy, you shot yourself in the foot, because now all the press about No More Heroes is going to be negative at this point. Like this new game, you know, like
not necessarily for me. I'm so really excited for this game.
No, I'm not saying the people aren't. I'm just saying the press around it, because like now it's just gonna. Everyone's already probably talked to their friends about how cool this could be, and now it's it was just like they let that message get away from them for sure. For sure. Yeah. I wonder, what are the chances that they're like, all right, fine, we'll do it. Like, everyone wants it. Let's just do it.
What happens is next time Nintendo shows this off, they're going to show a trailer of them being in Hotline Miami World, and then at the end it says 2019.
Like, all right, fine, we're going to do it. It's just going to take like 2 more years.
Part of me be like, I want it now, but okay.
I don't know. That's just like, that is such a huge letdown. Yeah. It seemed like such a cool idea that he's going to be in all these different
And it's just a thing of, it fits within the world of No More Heroes so much.
Yeah. Especially just like right when I was like reading this and I heard like, I heard that this was a thing, that apparently it wasn't what we thought it was. And I started reading this article right when I got to, but basically we're calling it the T-shirt collaboration. I was like, oh boy. Oh boy.
You thought of me crying.
It's disappointing, but
still really excited for this game. Yeah, more No More Heroes is good. Okay, moving on. This comes from Seth G. Macy from IGN. According to results published by the NPD Group, Nintendo Switch once again came out on top of console sales in the US. Switch has been the top console in 4 out of the 6 months of its availability. Top-selling game for August 2017 was, unsurprisingly, Madden NFL 18. Followed by Grand Theft Auto 5, the game that seemingly cannot be stopped when it comes to generating revenue for Take-Two Interactive.
So it was second for August.
It was number 2.
2013 game still.
Okay, both hardware and software spending fell off over the same period last year. According to NPD, growth from Nintendo Switch was offset by the decline of Xbox One and legacy platform sales. However, overall, hardware spending has grown 17% versus 2016 to $1.7 billion since the year began. And here are the top 10 best-selling games for August 2017, according to NPD Group. Madden at 1, Grand Theft Auto 5 at 2, Uncharted Lost Legacy at 3, Splatoon 2 at 4, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at 5, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege at
Great game.
6.
Pretty high. It's still pretty high.
Mario Kart 8 at 7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered at 8, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy at 9, and Overwatch at 10.
Call of Duty at 8 seems really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game's been out for a while. The remaster.
The remaster. Yeah, it's been. I mean, that was at least. I forgot what month that was.
A few months
it was
ago.
like earlier this year. It was earlier this year at least.
Question, and I'm probably remembering wrong. Wasn't like getting this part of a pre-order thing for the new one?
It was for a while.
It was
Okay.
originally.
Like a
but
year
I
or
think
so.
earlier this year they put it out separately.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not.
It might be because some people might have already gotten it because they.
Yeah.
Like some people bought Infinite Warfare just for this.
Yeah.
So like that might have already segmented some of the people that would have bought it. I'm glad. I was worried just from how little I hear people who aren't like a specific industry people talking about it. I was worried that the Lost Legacy wasn't even going to be number 3. I'm glad it's at least up there.
Yeah. I'm happy to see Splatoon, Zelda, and Mario Kart hanging in strong.
Yeah.
Though I don't know I don't know like when the cutoff is exactly the end of August, but I don't know if I should be worried that Mario plus Rabbids wasn't on here.
I was thinking that too. I thought it'd at least be in the top 10, like somewhere towards the bottom of the top 10. Yeah. I hope that doesn't become one of those things that's just like critically loved and everyone who plays it loves it, but no one buys it. I hope it doesn't end up being.
Part of me should be shocked if it doesn't sell well, especially since how good it is.
And how much people are talking about it, but it's just maybe that doesn't reach everyone. It just reaches like the hardcore, and it's
It could always be a thing. People waited to see how it actually was.
It could be.
How crazy would it have been if Madden didn't come out this month and Grand Theft Auto was the number 1 best-selling
That's the crazy thing. If it didn't, it probably would be.
Yeah.
Like GTA is always up there, but I think I might be wrong, but I think it's usually not number 2.
No, it's usually like 6 or 7.
I think I saw something.
This was probably a weak month. It must have been for game sales anyway. But
I think I saw that, and I think it's this technically old, but I just saw the article that Grand Theft Auto 5 might be the best-selling game in the U.S. of all time.
It beat Tetris.
Maybe.
I know it's been 2nd or 3rd for a long time.
Yeah, it's been up there, but I know at least Tetris has been above it.
But I mean, that wouldn't be the most surprising thing, especially in the U.S.
Played that junior year of high school, and people are still buying it.
It's still number 2 best-selling game of last month. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It makes no freaking sense.
Okay, so if we get done talking about that, I guess Switch is hanging on strong, which is good.
Yeah, good for Switch.
And quick thing.
And this next one, I just want to...
Kevin Knezovic from GameSpot, that's where it comes from. This is the best-selling PS4 games on PSN for the US. We're just going to say the top 5. Yeah. Number 1, Madden. Number 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. 3, Sonic Mania. 4, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And 5, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
So, big news here is I am so happy to see Hellblade that high up.
And Sonic Mania.
And Sonic Mania. Both of those that high up because they're both fantastic games.
Now, not to put it down, these games, but they are digital only.
Yes, yeah.
Which probably helps some, but
it does. But I mean, still, it was high enough to be up there, and at least that'll help. People might look at this and be like, "Oh, dang, it's really selling." Maybe I should check that out. It's just, I hope that I want Ninja Theory to get, like, positive reinforcement for how experimental and cool Hellblade was, because I don't want them to go back and do something else. I want them to, keep doing weird stuff like that. So
I'm afraid it's be one of those games that just gets left behind for me because there's so much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I'm sure it'll, like, drop in price at some point, or you can play online or something if you want.
Now, at the end of the year, I got Xenoblade.
It's a big year. It's a big year for games. And also Sonic Mania, I want Sega to get the message that this is what Sonic should be.
Now, what I want to see Sonic Mania's overall sales, because it's number 3 on PS4. I imagine sales. I know PS4 has a lot more people, but I imagine Switch sales got to be pretty strong.
Probably. It seems like a game that a lot of Switch owners would get.
Yeah, and if people want Sonic Mania and have a Switch and a PS4, they're going to get it on Switch.
Yeah.
That's a game, why not?
Yeah, if you have both, for sure.
The thing I'm interested on this is, so Grand Theft Auto 6 here, does that mean that people are still buying physical copies too? I mean, I guess you have to account for...
Yeah, that means, I would imagine that means a lot more people are buying it on, a lot of people buying it physically. Or the Xbox numbers are really high.
There's a lot of people who, like, GTA and maybe Madden are the only games they ever play.
Yeah,
and they're, like, just getting a console. They might not even know how digital selling works. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Yeah. Like, we're so into this, like, industry that seems crazy to us that they wouldn't know. But, I mean, if you just casually play games, GameStop. You know GameStop. That's what you know. Yeah. So,
Okay, I'm going to throw out 2 more games that are on this list real quick. The number was 15, Absolver. This is a new game. Yeah. Number 17, Life is Strange Before the Storm. That feels a little lower than I would want.
Yeah.
It's just the first episode, though.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know how that works as far as the episodic games, because it just says Life is Strange Before the Storm. I don't know. Does it count when people buy just the episode?
It must. I mean, if it's on there.
No, it might be people buying the complete thing.
Pass.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. I could see it. Okay.
From all accounts, Absolver is apparently really, really, really good.
Yeah. Another game I want to try out.
Yeah.
Guys ready to move on?
Yep.
Okay, this comes from Marty Sleeper from IGN. At this week's Apple event, that game company revealed its follow-up to Journey.
Which game company?
That game company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Revealed its follow-up to Journey, titled Sky. That game company CEO, Genova Chin. I'm going to go with Chin. I don't know, Chin. I don't know. Took the stage to showcase the first footage of what he called a romantic social adventure game. You play as the Children of Light, with the goal of bringing light to where it's needed the most. On their official blog, that game company wrote, "If you can imagine the delight of visiting a theme park where lasting memories are made, we envision Sky will sometimes feel like that." Sometimes, though.
I love that game company. Good lord, they're so pretentious. Like,
yeah,
they're so like art school, like dudes.
Yeah. Sky support up to 8 players, and the entire game can be controlled with a single finger. It will launch first on Apple TV, iPhone, and iPad this winter. So it was just a mobile game.
That's the big news. Is that it's Apple first. This was the Apple and stuff.
This is big news all around because the first thing I saw, this is the first game since Journey.
It is.
That's a big deal, and it being on mobile.
That was the surprising at least part of it, is that's the place that it came up at. 2 big
pieces of news in this.
It looks a lot like Journey. I mean, it looks cool. It's so artsy. It's
pretty.
So freaking artsy. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really... It's one of those things like, if you get into it, you get into it. And I do like those. I make fun of it because it's just so fun to make... It's so easy to make fun of these.
It's like a theme park, guys.
It's so easy to make fun of it. Especially romantic social adventure game.
Yeah.
I didn't read it, but I'm wondering how people on NeoGAF are taking this, because a lot of people on there are very anti-mobile. But very pro-Journey.
I'm pretty anti-mobile. I mean, it's just me personally. I don't like playing.
This is it feels like a mobile game, though. You know, I can imagine playing Journey on mobile.
Yeah, I could too.
I'm just here to see. It's like, hey, game that we may actually like, but it's on mobile.
Yeah. Oh, how do we feel about this? That's just a weird get for Apple, though, to be able to get something like that. Journey was huge. I mean, Journey was a really big game, and for them to get that company's game, I don't know. Is Apple trying to get more into this type of business? I don't know.
I remember people were
console.
It's been rumored for freaking 15 years.
I know people were thinking at the Apple event that maybe Nintendo would go out and announce Animal Crossing. That did not happen.
No. Yeah, I saw those rumors.
They did Mario Run last year.
Right.
Okay, let's move on. This comes from Tamar Hussein from GameSpot. Capcom has officially confirmed Okami HD will be available in Europe and the US on December 12th. It will be available digitally for all formats for $19.99. Physical version of PS4 will also be available. And in a quote from Capcom for the press release, Okami HD will be compatible with Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, whilst featuring stunning 4K graphics on Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, and supported PC hardware. Players will be able to choose between playing in a modern widescreen format or the original 2007 releases 4:3 ratio. Interactive loading game screens from the original game are also included, allowing players to earn bonus Demon Fangs, which can be traded for in-game items. See, when I see Demon Fang, I think Tails.
Did either of you play Okami?
Nope.
Not interested.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watched my girlfriend at the time play it back on the Wii. It was a really pretty game. It looked really cool. I didn't play it, but I've heard that it holds up. I haven't seen it since around the time it came out, but people who like the game really like the game. And I saw a lot of
I'm
people,
interested, but
a lot of people on Twitter, like
things.
Alana Pierce, like on Twitter, she was like over the moon about it. So I'm happy for other people. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I probably won't get it, but
Yeah. Xenoblade comes out that month. At least for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I won't get it.
Yeah. Because I get Xenoblade. Okay. Next story. This comes from Eddie McCook from GameSpot. Rockstar Games made a big and unexpected announcement about its 2011 investigation game, L.A. Noire. It's coming to many new platforms this November. The 1940 set game will launch for a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on November 14th, while it's also coming to Nintendo Switch. I think in the Direct it said that same day as well. Not only that, but a modified version of the crime game will be available on that date in virtual reality on HTC Vive in a package called L.A. Noire, the VR Case Files. L.A. Noire for PS4 and Xbox One comes with the full version of the original game and all DLC, along with expected updates such as better graphics. This includes enhanced lighting and clouds, new cinematic camera angles, high-resolution textures, and more. The game will output at native 1080p for PS4 and Xbox One, and in 4K on PS4 Pro and Xbox One X.
I have two things to say about this. One is, this is awesome. Really cool surprise. I'm excited. I think I'll probably pick it up if it's reasonably priced. I really like L.A. Noire a lot. Played it on 360 when it came out. 100% in that game, actually. But I never got to play the DLC and stuff, so I think that will be a lot of fun to jump back into. And number two is, if they're making this, then why in the world haven't they made a Red Dead remastered? Like, what?
I agree. I mean, the Red Dead Remaster is the thing that I would probably buy immediately.
Hey, Rockstar works in mysterious ways.
They don't question the will. They know what they're doing.
Look how well Grand Theft Auto 5's selling.
Yeah.
They know how to print money.
But I know, I know a lot of people who do really like this game. I personally never really liked them that much, but it's just a personal preference.
I know nothing about this game. I mean, I've heard the name everywhere, but I don't really know much anything about how it plays or anything.
Yeah.
It's really cool that's coming to Switch too.
Yep.
I'm cool with older games
cool
coming to Switch.
And Rockstar getting their toe in the water with Switch. As long as they don't do the dumb Capcom thing and be like, we're testing, if this doesn't do well, then we're never going to do anything Switch ever. Yeah. Like Capcom did with Street Fighter 2.
Whole look in this game looks cool and stuff, and to see it before on the Switch.
Conceptually, it's really cool. Like, you're solving these cases, and you have to decipher all this stuff and look at people's facial expression, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how it works necessarily a working game, because obviously I don't know much about it. Will know more than me. I think they said in the presentation there's going to be touchscreen stuff to help with the detective stuff on the Switch.
That makes sense. I mean, it's very much like a Rockstar-infused adventure game, so you're, like, looking for clues and stuff, almost kind of like Life is Strange and like walking sims, I guess. So
it was kind of like walking sim type gameplay before walking sim was a thing. It was kind of like pre that. But that was also part of what I didn't like about it. Is that it was like it didn't know what it was. It was like this like deep detective thing, but then you get in the car and you're like running over people and doing all this and this.
And there's those like random gunfights that don't seem to make any sense.
They're just not very good. Like it wasn't the game strictly. What I would be more excited about, like just me personally, more than a re-release thing of L.A. Noire, would be a new L.A. Noire with modern, like I feel like at the time they were trying out a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And some of them worked and some of them really didn't. But it was 2007. It was before any. It was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
It'd be interesting if they were putting this out to see if there was like
That's
an
what I was
audience.
They might be, yeah.
Even though Team Bondi or whoever actually made this game, Rockstar just published it. Team Bondi folded like a few years ago, but maybe Rockstar wants to do something with it.
Even if it was someone else like working on it, but just like taking what LA Noire was trying to do, but just like working, like going to its strengths and like putting away its weaknesses, and like the facial stuff is going to be a lot better now than it was then. I would be like, as much as I honestly really didn't really like LA Noire, I would be interested in a new one because I like the tone, I like the setting, and I like what they were going for.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. So interesting.
So we ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, this comes from James Duggan from IGN. This whole thing overall is going to be a weird one to read because this is an article that's more based on his experience than the actual news. So,
Alright, I
we'll see
mean,
how it goes.
do you want to just...
Okay, I'll pretty much say what it is.
We
Fortnite
can just-
has a player-unknown battleground mode.
we don't need that, like, in fact, just throw away the article.
I'll just kind of say how he describes it here real quick to, so we compare.
All right, James Duggan, you're back.
Okay, in Fortnite Battle Royale, you'll skydive onto an island arena, scavenge for weapons, run from an encroaching electricity field, and fight your way through 99 other players to victory. Sounds familiar, and he says it's a carbon copy of PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
Have you seen this, Will?
I have not.
It is... I mean, the GTA, GTA just came out with a DLC that was basically like... PlayerUnknown's Battleground, just like slightly different. This is not slightly different.
Oh, really?
this is PUBG.
Huh.
I mean, it's like it's in Fortnite's like art style and everything, but it's like you like drop out of a plane, you land there, everything looks pretty much the same. You're like shooting people.
But you can do building stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's a little different, but it's like it's pretty much the same thing. Which we come back to like the same kind of like discussion me and Jeff had last episode, where it's like at some point like all games kind of like feed off of each other, and that's just kind of how everything works. It's a little weird when it's like a direct copy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Fortnite's free, right? It's going to be free to play. I think Fortnite's the one. I might be wrong. I think Fortnite at some point is supposed to be free to play.
Keep talking, I'll look it up.
Like, I don't have a PC that can play it, so I can't play PUBG, but I'd play this just to like give it a shot and like give it a try.
Yeah, I mean that's what kind of interests me about maybe Ghost Recon doing the Battle Royale.
Yeah, we
at some
talked
point.
about that being a possibility.
Just because, I mean, like I can't play PlayerUnknown right now, but I would like to try out what people love so much. So
it's one of those things. Like even if you make an innovative thing like that, but you're not giving it to everyone, if you give other people enough time, they're gonna do it. They're gonna
copy it.
Yeah, there's an audience out there that wants this that can't get it. Am I right, Jeff?
Yes.
I think right now you have to pay to play it right now, but when it actually releases, it's going to be free.
Fortnite is on consoles, though?
Yes, it is on consoles. It's like it's weird on free, as far as the free-to-play thing. I'm having trouble finding out information.
It was kind of a story that it was like, it's weird. You have to pay it to play it like early access, but once it comes out, it's free.
Yeah. I don't know if it's free yet or not. I don't know. We can look later.
And I don't know if this would be free. Who knows? This might cost money. This mode might cost money. I don't know. But
we will update you. Odds are, if you're interested, you probably already know.
Yeah, and
I'll let you. Well, when I get home, Darby, I may try to look it up and let you know. And you.
But I mean, do you agree? Like, if this is free,
let's do it.
Why not?
You and Will
do it.
I mean, we could at least get some sort of taste of like a PUBG-like experience for no money on the PS4. Yeah, so. And from all accounts, everyone likes Fortnite. I mean, I think it probably won't be as good as PUBG because it's doing its version of PUBG, but it could be something. So. And
it was probably kind of just thrown together type thing.
Probably.
Yeah. I just find it so interesting how for PUBG, like how big it is. It's not even out yet. Technically,
it's one of the biggest games in years.
I want to ask you guys this, just kind of while we're on the topic of it.
I know where you're going.
PUBG being Game of the Year nominee, potentially. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. How do you feel about a game that's not out yet being Game of the Year? And then potentially when it comes out next year, people are like, but it just came out. It should be Game of the Year this year.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
That is interesting.
I don't know how I feel because there's two camps. Like on the one side, if you say like, no, you can't make it Game of the Year because it's not out yet, think about it, if someone's like, okay, but if we're talking about like my game of the year, and I played PUBG for
hundreds of hours,
for like 300 hours, and everything else for like a fraction of the time, am I really gonna be like, no, that's not my game? At that point, it's like, okay, I guess I'll give it to something else. But I played this for 300 hours. But at the same token, if you let them say like, yeah, you can say it's game of the year now, but then next year it actually comes out and there's all these new things that add on to it and everything or whatever. Like you could easily say, well, no, it came out this year. We have to be able to do it. So like you can't have it both years, or can you? I don't know. Like it's
I'd rather them do it this year than whenever it actually comes out. Because I mean, like for all intents and purposes, you're playing the game. You know?
Yeah.
It's called early access, but I mean.
But it's one of those. Who knows? We don't know what the final product's going to look like.
It's technically not out, but it's out, and it's just getting a bunch of updates.
I mean, DayZ has been in early access for like 6 years.
Yeah, the whole terms are getting like fuzzy. The early access, release, like all of it's getting very fuzzy. Well, Minecraft. Everyone I know who played Minecraft was technically playing it before it released. I mean, it was just one of those,
Mario and Zelda are going to lose their game. Not even out yet.
To a lot of people, it probably is their game of the year.
I don't blame them.
Some people, that's the only game they play.
I'm talking. Personally, game of the year. That's whatever. I'm talking more like the. I guess more
the game awards.
And the magazines and all that stuff.
I have a feeling they won't allow it this year, but it is weird to say this game that I've put 300 hours into. It can't be considered. Well, it's like I put 300 hours into it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because while we've had early access games for the past whatever years, this is by far the biggest one.
It's not going to get easier because these lines keep getting more and more fuzzy with games.
But I'm excited to potentially try out real PUBG on my Xbox later this year.
Yes. I'm excited to try real PUBG out on your Xbox later.
The problem with that is I got to pay for the game and then get Xbox Live.
Yeah.
I have to really want to get it then.
We'll see. Like PUBG, you're special. Just doing all of this just for you. Paying like $120 just for you.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, ready to move on to what I think is the final news story of the week.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. This comes from Jason Schreier from Kotaku, and this is more of a sad story. Bruce Straley, co-director of The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, is officially leaving Naughty Dog following an extensive sabbatical. Let's see. Yeah, he wrote on the Naughty Dog website, after heading up to extremely demanding projects and taking some extended time away from the office, I found my energy focusing on other directions. I slowly realized this was a signal that it's time to move on. Kotaku broke the news last December that Straley would not be co-directing The Last of Us 2 with his longtime creative partner Neil Druckmann. After taking nearly a year off work, Straley decided not to return to the studio in which he spent 18 years working on everything from Crash Team Racing to Uncharted.
I wonder if he's staying in development.
Yeah, I have no clue where he's going.
From what I understand, and I'm sure you guys heard the exact same things, working for Naughty Dog in these games seems to take a lot more out of you than a lot of other stuff.
Actually, are you reading Jason's book?
No,
because I'm currently reading it.
He later in this he said something about his book, but
I'm actually like in the middle of the Uncharted 4 chapter, and it's crazy how like Straley and Druckmann both they like co-directed The Last of Us, like this very ambitious, crazy project that they were like nervous about and had to go through a crazy crunch for, and it was like grueling and crazy. They get that out, and they think they're finally going to be able to, we can finally take a break after this like 4 years of working on this game. Then Amy Hennig leaves, a bunch of people leave, and Naughty Dog comes to them and be like, we need you guys to do Uncharted 4, like immediately after The Last of Us.
Wow.
And the Uncharted 4 was in like bad shape, apparently. Like there was they basically had to go in there and scrap a bunch of stuff, and they had to tell everyone like, everything you've been working on for months, sorry, we have to go this new direction.
Jeez.
And they had to like go from The Last of Us straight into Uncharted 4. So I can get why this guy's a little hurt.
I was talking to him like, maybe don't say too much, people can read Jason's book.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this is stuff you can. And it's just like a little bit. But, and even if I tell you this, like Jason's going to tell it way better. Like the book, I would say that book, like just side tangent, that book is so addicting. Like I don't.
I wanna read it.
I'm like
It looks
putting.
awesome.
I'm putting like 30 pages away in no time. Like it's so easy to read.
Let's see how much is on Amazon real quick. Keep on talking.
So yeah, like especially after reading that book, like I have a newfound respect for like, yeah, I get why you would want to like game development. People don't realize how grueling of a process
For sure,
it is
Yeah.
to go through. So like I understand if he wants to do something else. I think he has like a family too, and you know,
Ooh, $10 on Amazon. I'll get that later.
it's really good. I'm only 2 chapters in, but it's like
Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Pick it up.
yeah. I would definitely have a recommendation from me. It's really, really good.
So, yeah, again, I understand why. Even if he doesn't want to do this, he might do some other game development thing.
A lot of times, like the big people, like people in big like companies, will end up going to a smaller company or something and doing something for a little
more chill.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
I could definitely see that. I just kind of assumed that he was gonna be like co-director for The Last of Us Part 2. So that I wonder if Part 2's not as far as development, or I wonder if he has been in any role in it, or like what, you know.
He's been gone for like a year.
It sounds like he's been gone for a while.
So I would assume, except for like the putting together the first ideas about it, he hasn't been involved at all.
Yeah. I guess Druckmann. I wonder if Druckmann's gonna have a co-director, if it's kind of just his baby at this point. I don't know.
Let me see.
But best of luck to Straley. I'm very excited to see if he comes back and does something else. I mean, The Last of Us is still one of my favorite games of all time, and like, yeah, him and Druckmann have done, or like 2 of the best in the business. Like they've done crazy, amazing stuff. So, you know, yeah.
Yeah. We will let you know. We'll let you guys know if we hear he does anything else.
And Naughty Dog will be fine. Naughty Dog has like lost a lot of good people, and they always gain great people again. So
They always lose a whole bunch of people and then make a great game. You're
yeah,
like, okay.
It's like, I guess like it's gonna be like I'm just waiting. It's gonna be a sad day if it does happen. But I'm just waiting. Like Naughty Dog has yet to make a misstep in a long time. And like sometimes this stuff can be bad. This stuff can be grueling when you lose people in the middle of a project. And Uncharted 4, like by all accounts, seems like it could have been terrible. Like by the way it was.
I'm trying to think. Would Naughty Dog's last misstep be like a Jack spinoff?
Probably.
If they even had a hand in
that
those.
was a long time
Yeah.
ago. Like that would probably be like pre-Uncharted, or at least like back in Uncharted
yes.
1 days.
Pretty much since Crash until now, can't really say they had any giant missteps.
No.
So he's obviously going to go to Activision and make a new Crash game. He had a hand in that.
Clearly.
For Crash Team Racing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested. Like,
Yeah.
he might go to some like indie thing or some like smaller thing.
Yeah, might start his own studio.
that.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Do we know too much about him?
Some of the Psionics people were like old, people in like big studios, so that makes sense. All right, Jeff. Well, that was all the news. I think we're gonna have a shorter topic this week, but it's kind of just an extension. Main topic this week. It's just kind of an extension of what me and you talked about last time. Me and you talked about like our thoughts on open world games and how we're starting to have like open world fatigue. And it's just like
In different ways for us.
yeah, how like every it's getting to the point where it's like almost every like AAA game has to have some open world mechanic, and on some levels like that's some of my favorite games, and some like my favorite type of game is having that open world. I love having exploration, but I just don't want it to get run to the ground. And I do think there's been some games that have had it that didn't necessarily need it. And basically this week I just wanted to get mostly Will's opinions on it. Will, I know you wrote like an article for the Daily Gamecock last year about this, so I know you at least have some opinions on it. So I don't know if they changed since then at all with the games that have come out, but how do you feel about this topic?
Yeah, I mean, when I wrote that, I was definitely feeling fatigued from having so many collectibles to run around and side quests and everything like that. I think since then, I've been playing a lot maybe smaller games and more multiplayer focused games actually. I find myself playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Destiny now. So I don't know if that's a result of maybe feeling that fatigue and going on to something else. But yeah, it's definitely still there. I started The Witcher, I guess last month sometime, and I've been enjoying that so far. But once I got to the first real map after the prologue, I guess.
Yeah, after White Orchard.
Yeah. Then I was like, this is a lot. So I haven't done a
Pretty
whole
big.
lot. I haven't done a whole lot on that map yet. And like I stopped playing basically whenever Destiny came out. I still obviously want to play The Witcher. It's amazing.
Well, again, just side note, I recommend like the way that like The Witcher 3 is like one of my favorite games of all time. But I would have gotten burnt out on it and never played it again if I tried to play it all at once.
Yeah.
You have to take breaks.
Yeah,
It's just too dang big. But anyway. Sorry.
No, yeah. So, I mean, there's still some games that I look at where, like Horizon, which I strangely have not played yet, where I'm like, I really want to get to this game and want to be in this world for a long time. But, yeah, I mean, for the moment, I find myself enjoying playing with friends a lot. And when I'm not doing that, then I've been playing small, maybe not indie games, but like story-driven games like Life is Strange or some of the Telltale games.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with the open world stuff because it does seem like every game is part of that. You know, so Just Cause 3 was one of the free games a couple months ago. Yeah. And I played the opening mission and was like, nope, not for me. And then Infamous Second Son is this month's. And I got it for free or whatever, but I haven't downloaded just because I don't know if I really want to get in that world either. So, yeah, I'm very much there.
You have to kind of play what you feel, like what you're feeling like you want to play. And it is, like, as much as, like, I love it, and when you say, like, you're having the open world fatigue or whatever, it's not even necessarily that, it's not, I mean, there are some, but it's not necessarily that these games, like, shouldn't have an open world or whatever. Sometimes it's right for the game, and I know that these games are going to be amazing, and I'm going to love them, but it's just, you can only do so much. Like you have Horizon, crazy open world. I'm playing Persona. It's not open world, but it's long. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of open world. It's just long as heck.
Yeah, I think that's what helps for at least me and you playing Persona. It's not open world, so it doesn't. I mean,
it's not the same type of thing. But I mean, you think about any of these, it's just you can't play them all when they're that long. And even like Metal Gear, you have like Phantom Pain. I'm just thinking even into like last year and year before and stuff.
I guess like a weird part of it is like I mentioned Ghost Recon, and that is very much an open world game. You can do anything, but I don't know what it is. I guess I feel like I have fixed objectives at this point. Like I've beaten the story, and I'm basically just grinding for the platinum. So maybe once I'm done with that, then I can feel like I can actually sit down in another world. But for like, when did that game come out? March? Since March, I've been playing that like and grinding. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of it too.
I mean, it's one of those. Whenever you release an open world game like this, you have to compete with. You have to like everyone's competing for the player's time. And when these games are just so long or whatever, it's like you might have a very good open world game and fail because it's just the market's just saturated with it.
Yeah, so for like in TV shows, I try to watch one drama and one comedy at a time. And like for games, I'm very much one of those people that usually has a open world single player game that I'm playing, a competitive shooter or something, and then maybe like a small indie game that I'm playing. But I never do more than that. So I can't do like two open worlds at one time. It's just too hard for me.
I think I do that subconsciously.
Yeah.
I somewhat do that. Mixing in too much stuff right now. I need to try to get down with something before South Park and Mario and stuff came out.
Right, yeah.
I think it's weird. Like, I have, like, an open world game that I kind of don't have one right now, but for a long time it was Witcher. Even though I still have the Witcher DLC, so, like, I need to finish. But I've been, like, having the Witcher, and I have, like, Overwatch is my, like, competitive shooter. And I guess the third game is, like, weird JRPG, that Persona and, like, before I've had other stuff.
Yeah, right now I guess my 3 games, I don't think there's anything else, are, Persona, Mario plus Rabbids, and, throwing some Sonic Mania in there.
But the only other part of this like conversation is there's also like some of my favorite games are open world games, but I also like love the like kind of BioShock type like we're telling a story. Like this is it's a linear thing. Like you're not doing all this other stuff or whatever. We're telling this awesome deliberately told story. And I don't want those to kind of like fall to the wayside.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I mean, I think one of the things I remember I mentioned in that article I wrote was Tomb Raider's style of play as well. When it's like you open up into this part of the map that feels open world, but it's very much a linear game.
It's kind of it was like a semi-open world. Yeah. It's something not many games do. It was just like enough to be cool and have you can spread your legs a little bit, but like not enough to where it's like
Because Uncharted 4 tried to do that a little bit too, and I liked it. Like they had that one big part with the Jeep where you could roam around in. Yeah. So I think I'm kind of partial to that, where you can make it feel more open than it actually is, and it doesn't really affect longevity or anything. Like, so.
And have something between that and then like. I love them, but like Far Cry games or even Assassin's Creed game where it's just like you're looking at this map and it's like, good lord, there's like 60 things on this map.
Now thinking about it, it was probably Far Cry that did it for me. Like,
really, I
played that game for so long, it killed me.
There are so many things to do in this Ubisoft games.
Yep.
And they're not always entertaining things to do. Sometimes they're just things to do.
Yeah, I think the next one I'll probably jump into is Assassin's Creed, which is pretty exciting. I'm ready for a new Creed game. Yeah, Origins. So, yeah, maybe we can revisit that once I jump into Assassin's Creed Origins, see how I feel.
I would definitely want to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big week when that happens. He gets a day one, we'll have Mario and Assassin's Creed to talk about.
Yeah.
True.
We'll see what I have.
You're gonna be playing Wolfenstein.
I just have to round out the trifecta.
Yeah.
And then we all watch Stranger Things too.
Yes.
Is that the same week?
The same day.
That's a great day.
I knew that those 3 games. I didn't even realize Stranger Things.
And then there was like a whole nother thing, like a movie or something that's coming out of the day, but then it moved.
Oh yeah, it was Cloverfield or something. God Particle. That's what it was called. Wasn't it?
If I was a bigger movie, I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
October 27th, man. That's just the day, the holy day.
The holy day. We're taking off of school.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, me and you are.
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
We don't have class on Fridays.
Oh. There you go. Well, you have anything else on either of you on open world games?
I guess reiterating, I'm not tired of playing open world games because I'm very picky with mine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff hasn't played. Jeff doesn't play like the Far Cries and stuff. We kind of like talked about it last week. Like Jeff hasn't played as many open world.
Yeah,
games
like part of the reason people got to this is like Far Cry, Fallout, Skyrim, kind of starting there and everything.
Yeah.
And even Dragon's Age and stuff. I never played any of those games. Like I'm just more tired of seeing every game being one because I quickly can lose interest depending on how it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I'm excited for Xenoblade 2, and that's pretty open.
No.
And Mario's pretty open, so not exactly open world, but very open areas.
Yeah, you can have like open elements to it, but like not necessarily. Well.
So yeah.
Well, then I think that's it.
Yeah.
We should plug. There was a
Whoa, that was a.
It's a crazy hand gesture. No one got to see. Maybe they heard it. Will made a website for us to try to not just do podcast stuff, to actually write some articles and stuff.
Don't expect much from me.
Yeah. Maybe we can convince Jeff to do some things.
I might be doing the DC TV shows. We'll see.
There we go.
But me and Will, I think we both are kind of writers first before we got into any of this. So we like to, do that. So we're gonna try to do. We don't exactly know what we're doing there yet, but we're gonna have some game content, some like TV, some movie stuff, maybe some reviews,
some comics, hopefully.
Yeah,
I might put some music stuff on there. Why not?
Yeah, maybe some music.
Yeah, and
just whatever we really want to talk about is why I said
basically
it.
That'll just be the giant mess that we can just throw things into and be like, yep, there it is. And anything that you want us to write about or anything you want from there.
So, I mean, right now, I basically just reposted a interview with Josh Hamrick about he worked for Bungie and Bethesda. And then Darby just posted something about the PewDiePie controversy today.
Yes, I did post my views on that, so you can definitely check those out. So,
the URL is nerdsatllarge.wordpress.com, and hopefully we'll be posting stuff on there. But, yeah, I mean, we'll maybe post some of that stuff on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll at least link to it, but,
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess last thing, goals? Last thing we need to do?
Yeah, I'll start. My only goal is to play and finish episode 1 of The Life is Strange before I stop. I'm just gonna just do that because now that school's here, I can't have elaborate, crazy goals. I know what's realistic. That's about all I'm gonna put as a goal. So
okay. Good. Well.
I'm gonna hit level 20 in Destiny, which is the soft level cap.
What's your level now?
11.
Well,
Yeah, that's like so. Level 20 is kind of when the game actually starts because there's the soft level cap, and then you have like a power level, which is what actually goes by. So hopefully I can get to that point.
Well, Godspeed, Guardian.
Thanks.
Is that something people say?
Guardian. Yeah.
See, I know Destiny.
You know all the Destiny. I'm just gonna throw in a couple goals and we'll see what I actually do.
Jeff just likes to throw a million goals out there. I'll get 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just throw in Life is Strange, 2 weeks in Persona. Finish this chapter I'm on in Mario plus Rabbids.
See, I try to be realistic, Jeff. I don't just throw out everything that I like think that like I could maybe get to. But
you gotta live dangerously, Darby.
Yeah.
Dangerous for my GPA.
Yeah, very dangerous. But
Luckily, I don't take my PS4 to school, so if I don't get it done by the time I go back, it doesn't matter.
alrighty, well, I think that's all for us. Make sure you subscribe to us and check all that stuff. Look out, I think we're going to try to do some spoiler casts coming up. Now that Game of Thrones is done, we can do other things that aren't just Game of Thrones. Now that we're not guaranteed to have to do 2 podcasts every weekend, which is nice, but we're going to have a BoJack Horseman one coming up
next
definitely.
week or 2, I assume. I see one get done by then. Will's almost done.
Yep.
We're basically just waiting on Jeff at this point. He's a slacker, but
I blame Prague Power.
And we might have one for Life is Strange before it's Storm. Anything else? We'll figure it out. And that's it. Nerds at Large Spoilercast on your podcast feeds. And
Yeah.
rate us on iTunes. I've never said that before, but
Whoa.
Sure, do it.
Thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe the video. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, you guys. It was fun.
Yep, indeed.
Bye, Darby. Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Leaving right now.